Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sunday, where we are being broadcasted worldwide and soon coming to your neighborhood.
Worldwide, yes.
Worldwide, yes.
On the web, yes.
On the web.
Oh, on the web.
And all you New Yorkers, the weather out here is phenomenal. And we also want to say that Dr. Pannozzo will soon be seen on his own reality TV show.
Well, we don't know about that.
Well, if you live long enough, you will be. And I hope you will enjoy it because, folks, you're going to see something that you've never been able to see before.
That's right. If we ever get that show off the ground, you'll
Well,
see
just hope
things
you
you've
check with Doc. We'll be able to get this thing done.
never ever seen before. I mean,
No, it's going to happen.
You know, it's very funny. Freddie and I were talking a couple of days ago, and we did it on the way up, and we're trying to figure out the philosophy of medicine. Why hasn't the medical profession, or why haven't the schools taught what you had to self-teach yourself to cure patients without literally killing them?
incompetence.
But why? I mean, a medical school.
It's just incompetence. That's all. What do you want me to tell you? If you have to do research on something like I did, they don't do it.
That's kind of weird, isn't
And
it?
the professors take the easy way out. They don't have to do much, and it's just incompetence. That's all.
I mean, if you look at it logically, what you do, I mean, is so amazing. That's why people are hoping to get this reality show up, because you do something that, I mean, come on, Freddie. We say we have TVs that if you come into Dr. Pannozzo's office, or you could download half the stuff we're talking about and see how great it is. I mean, you should be, well, actually, you are packed. I mean, any more business. We don't want business, right?
Oh yeah, because we don't keep.
I know, that's
we
probably
don't keep
it.
people coming in here.
Freddie, it's like it's one of those open door policies.
Yeah.
You cure them, they go out. We got to get two more in.
That's right.
I think Freddie fell asleep, Doc. He'll come in soon.
No, I'm listening.
Okay. Go ahead. So talk to me about because every day there's new people, as you can see. So if I repeat this to the people that listen all the time, understand we keep on having more and more listeners. We're almost up to 1 million followers of this man, and that's incredible.
For a doctor show, that's
Yeah.
really big.
Oh, for a doctor show, yes. It is huge.
Doctor actually that does something a little bit different than anybody else. But, I wanted to touch base with what's going on right now politically in the country. You have the threat of Republicans getting the White House and what have you. All of them have said they're going to do away with Obamacare.
Oh, sure.
So what is the alternative, Doc? I'm going to ask you this. What's going to happen in the medical field when Obamacare is gone for whatever reason, and people then have to make some wise decisions based on what they can afford again, correct?
No, the prices will be coming down, so that the copays and other charges in there will not be there because there will be competition. The insurance companies have a lot of money. Whenever you go to the doctor and you have to pay $50 out of pocket just to go there,
Right.
I mean, that's a punishment as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
$50 means nothing to the insurance company.
That's correct.
But they're also going to be able to pick somebody that goes in for pain, and you take care of them one visit, not multiple visits.
No?
It saves us, the consumer, money, correct?
Now,
Exactly right.
when you have competition, that means that the management of insurance companies is going to improve also. Right now, they don't have to do anything. They sit there and make a ruling, and you're stuck with it. HMOs why are they limiting good doctors from the HMO? Why
Yeah.
did they do that?
Why?
Well, you have to put yourself in their position. So why do they do that?
Money.
Limit care.
And why are they
Limit
limiting
the care you can get.
And
Well,
why?
it means that they save money because you can't get the care you want.
That's right. And this is my whole, you could turn this whole thing upside down by saying unlimited care. We take care of the pain. They don't come back. They save money, but they're getting treated correctly.
Well, on
I
the other
think so.
hand, some of the doctors will do things that you don't want done, like the spinal surgery for scoliosis. You don't want that done. That should be wiped out. Nobody should ever pay for that. That is absolutely horrible. And you don't need it. It's just scar tissue. That's all it is. And by the way, no one's ever asked me to lecture to them either.
No, I mean, would that be amazing?
I've been saying this for
Yeah.
almost a year, that you don't need a surgery on scoliosis. It's just scar tissue. This kid will grow up normal if you know how to treat it. They don't know how to treat it. They have an attitude like, and this is where the insurance companies should come in. The attitude is, let's prevent it from getting worse. Well, that's baloney. You don't want to stop it from getting worse. You want to improve it. That's
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it, and that's what we do.
Exactly, that's the change.
And it happens right in front of you. Now, the pediatricians will not buy into it because they don't know any better. The orthopedic surgeons have them right here. You ever refer to us for this surgery, or else your child's going to grow up to be crooked. That is not true.
And that scares a parent.
Well,
Parents should know better. I mean, they should take that child anywhere but the surgeon. Anywhere but the surgeon.
But you know what you say, Doc, I understand what you're saying, and the only reason I know what you're saying is because I've seen it. There's a difference. I think when someone goes to the pediatrician who delivered the baby, and that pediatrician now is taking care of the baby, they believe the pediatrician.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the biggest problem comes. They actually believe what the pediatrician is saying.
It reminds me of Dr. Welby, you know.
Dr. Welby, I love that guy.
Always there, very soft and nice, you know.
Well, you're like a Dr. Welby in a way.
No, I'm not.
I'm trying to help the guy.
I am not even close. We had a lady crying the other day in the office. I said, "What are you crying about? This is a science. I need to know where this pain is. I don't want to treat your crying. I want to know where the pain is."
Well, it's funny when we did our little.
She eventually, calmed down and told me where it was, but
Yeah.
it's just.
Well, that's something. He actually asked you where the pain is.
That's right. He wants you to create the pain so
Yeah.
he can
So he can
follow
take it.
where he goes.
Yeah.
You know, so when I had my groin thing, I said, "I don't know where it is, Doc." He said, "Where is it?" He started yelling at me. I said, "I think it's over here." So he said, "Let me see." He touched it. I said, "Ooh, Doc, I think you found it." It wasn't my pain, but he found something.
Yeah, the exams we use, we use are, it's not what we do to create the pain. It's how we examine it to create the pain. I mean, even though the pain may not be where you think it should be, if I can create it doing this, then we know where it is.
Right.
So that's the way pain works. By the way, I was preparing a lecture for that. Pain. Pain, what is it? Understanding pain. You think you know what pain is?
I know what it is when I have it,
Tell me what it is.
not having the ability to stretch.
Tell me what it is.
I knowing
Where
less.
did you hear that?
I think I heard it from you. Knowing less.
Knowing less. That's
Knowing
pain.
Oh, yeah, I
baby.
give him a lot of pain 5 days a week.
It's called Soros.
It's called what?
Soros. In
Soros?
Jewish. Soros.
Surus. That's right, it's called Surus. He's got a lot of Surus. He's coming to me with all that Surus. He's got pain in his neck. He's got pain in his head. Go see my orthopedic surgeon. He'll get pain. He's the biggest guy in town. He's like 6'4". That's why she met him.
Anyway, what is it? Inability to stretch.
I said that. I was right.
You were right. It's also an electrical phenomenon. You can actually test it on equipment, that the pain structure produces electricity into your nerves that go to the brain, and that's where you feel the pain. You don't feel it down below.
Really?
Yes,
So the pain is in the brain, but it's being sent by the down below?
that's right. You have to know where the pain is by the brain has to know where it is.
So when someone takes an
That's how
aspirin,
you know. If you say my toe hurts, how do you know that?
Because my brain is telling me
Your
that.
brain is telling you that. So the impulse goes to the brain, it localates it there for you. And so you could say, oh,
But isn't that the way Advil works? It
I was
blocks
just
the
gonna say that.
sensor to the brain?
Advil doesn't do anything.
It blocks the sensation, though. It blocks the signal.
It does?
Yeah.
Where did you hear that?
That's what it says in the box. Doc, that's what it says in the
that
box,
could
Doc.
be the funniest thing you said in 2 years.
The only thing
Double
that,
bell on that.
the only thing that really helps is I'm surrounded by geniuses in this program. the only,
Oh, Jesus.
aspirin's the only thing that works on the inflammation that causes the pain. Aspirin. That's
But
what
like
the-
Fraser, it just blocks
Now,
the
for
pain.
instance, if you have migraine and you don't want to come to me to get rid of it, then you take aspirin only. Don't buy expensive medication. It has nothing to do
No.
with anything.
So that those, and what you said, I know how true it is because a lot of people carry an EpiPen with them, and when they get the really bad migraines, they shoot themselves in the leg.
With an EpiPen?
Yeah, it's like an EpiPen. It's I had it when we did a show the last time. I could look up the name.
You shoot yourself in the leg with, with
and
an
that,
EpiPen for a
or either
migraine?
the leg or the butt. I'm serious. My nephew.
Well, that hurts so bad you forget about your head.
Yeah, and what happens
You're
is
right.
it goes away, but it doesn't cure it. That's the thing that I'm trying
No,
to
it
explain to
doesn't,
people.
doesn't cure it. Yeah.
And they stopped the Botox ads again.
Oh, thank God.
Stopped
Yeah.
them again?
Yeah, they were taking off all over the place
Yeah,
again.
and then they stopped it. Well, people, what happens is when people were coming in, they were getting relief for a short period of time, and it was like a month, and they had to keep coming back, but it never got rid of the pain. It just,
the problem is they're using the patient to tell them they got relief.
Yeah.
That is not how you know. You have to know by re-examination.
Right.
You got to know your stuff. These people who do Botox don't know anything about it,
they don't even give it. They get 5 shots.
and they don't even know where to put them.
Well, we know that as a fact because we have 3 people that.
Well, he's
Because
saying-
it's not muscular.
Well, he's
it's
saying,
ligamentous.
that's right. The Botox goes into
Yeah.
the muscle, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And that's not what the pain is to begin
No.
with.
Oh.
It's not where it is.
See, that's what people have to understand. If you know where the pain emanates from, you could fix it. But
Yeah.
most people don't have the equipment that you have.
People have to be a little more critical.
Yeah.
They know they don't get relief. I mean, I've had people coming in the office after being treated elsewhere for a year.
A year.
And I said, well, the treatment you had was never meant to do that. Well, he helped me. I mean, why are they defending that? It's
Because they don't want to
It's
seem
bad.
stupid.
Oh, I got
They're
the
defending
bad.
their own
Hold it.
bad
Is
judgment.
that right?
Of course.
Bad judgment.
I got the.
You're better to admit it and start over.
No.
Well, I got something to tell you. You know our boy, Annapolis guy, Jim? I don't want to use his last name. You know who I'm talking about. So I see him at the gym yesterday, and he said, well, I'm going up to Denver. I said, what? I said, I'm going up to ski. I said, he's got a house up in Denver. I said, oh, I thought you scared me, so I'm not going to see those orthopedic guys. I because of your buddy, Dr. Pannozzo, I could ski. He said, the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in the small hills. I'm not worried about my knees. I'm worried if I fall and I break my head. I don't think you can fix that. So here's a guy, here's a guy I said, you got to call him up one day, Jim. Here's a guy that had surgery, a quote, you see my little quote hands, from the biggest surgical institute for knee surgery in Denver.
Right.
Still had pain in both legs. He used to wear the Tommy Copper thing. He's the guy who says, I said, why do you wear Tommy Copper? Does it work? He said, no. I said, actually, I'm getting a rash. I didn't know I was allergic to copper. True story. It took me 3 weeks to convince him to go see him. And he said, the best thing he's ever done. He said he's gotten rid of the scar tissue, and he says, now I could live. I could play 18 holes of golf. I could only play 3, and then I was out with ice packs. I couldn't play. He plays tennis every week, 2 or 3 times a day with his wife, and now he's going up to Denver to go skiing.
Yeah,
come on.
He's become a human being.
These are real people.
I decided to do a basic science program. What is a pain? Okay, so it's inability to stretch, what you said, then electrical phenomenon, which you can do, and then that's primarily it. And you have to be able to locate it. So how you locate it, the source is by examination. So you can't just say, I can't move my elbow, give me some pills. No, that's not going to fix it. You have to know what's in that elbow and then structure it. So structure is normal, this is not, this is what we'll treat, and this is how you're going to be. That's a scenario. That's what's in the TV program if we ever get it.
Yeah, we're going to get it. What are you worried about?
And it's never done anywhere because all they do is send you to therapy. If that fails, they operate you. That's not good.
Mm-mm.
We'll wipe out surgery pretty much if we do this program.
Well, you got to get married again and have another kid. We need another doctor in the house, right?
Ooh, I guess.
Well, let me ask you. Here's what people. I want an MRI, which the whole world lives on an MRI because they, it's like the Jimmy Jones thing. If you drink the Kool-Aid, you'll be okay, right? So if you drink enough of the Kool-Aid,
Jimmy Jones.
Is that his name, Jimmy Jones?
I thought Jimmy Jones was bacon.
I thought it was Jimmy
No,
Jones.
Jimmy Jones is bacon,
Oh.
and Jerry Jones is the Dallas Cowboys.
So it's got to be Jimmy Jones.
Got to be Jimmy Jones. Can't be Jimmy John because he sells subs. Oh, what am I going to? Okay.
It's not Jimmy Jones anymore. He died.
He died, so it's the ex-Jimmy
Drank the
Jones.
Kool-Aid.
So, what was I talking about?
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
He drank his Kool-Aid.
So, when you see an MRI, folks, here's what I want to tell you. Okay, when you see an MRI and your back and your child's back is hunched, you don't know what's causing that hunch. All you're seeing is, if I'm wrong, just tell me. You're just seeing the bone. You don't see the scar tissue that's pulling that bone down that way. Am I correct?
Well, the scar tissue holds it crooked.
Right, but you don't see that on the
Doesn't
MRI.
pull it. No, it doesn't pull it. So
Okay.
the idea of stop it from getting worse is wrong.
Right. Well, surgery, to me, everyone's saying surgery is wrong. Why go for surgery if you have an alternative?
They still do it. Did I read you the thing from Baylor University, they do 2,000 of those surgeries a year. 2,000 kids a year. I mean, I can't believe it.
Wow.
I read that and I said, oh my God, they need help down there.
Well, the funny thing is that 2,000 people should get a second opinion. If you can eliminate 2,000 surgeries, or even 1,500 surgeries.
Think of it this way. They have a funnel system. Your kid grows up, goes to the pediatrician. Pediatrician says, oh, you got a curvature. You got to go see Dr. So-and-so, the surgeon. You're putting an unbearable pressure on this surgeon because he now is the center of activity for this kid.
That's right.
And what is he offering? Surgery. He offers surgery. That's all he offers. He doesn't do musculoskeletal medicine like we do. And he has a therapist there. One of these places has therapy before and therapy afterwards. I mean, scheduled in. So they're taking this kid and taking a year of his life away is what they're doing.
No, they're taking more than a year of his life away because
Oh,
we'll be
yeah,
able to do
because
the
he
other
never
things.
recovered from the
And
surgery.
what about the psychology behind
So what
it?
do you need therapy before and therapy after?
You're right, what Freddy said.
What do you need that for? They don't know what they're doing. Therapists do not know the ins and outs of scoliosis.
They're not doctors.
They're not doctors. They're not trained that way. They only do trade school stuff, which is put a hot pack on you if they're lucky, because you never find them. They're walking around with the white coats. Who does the work? Technicians. So that's what I dislike about them. When you come to my office, I do everything. I'm the doctor. I do the diagnosis and the treatment too. Why? It's the best you can get. And that's what I live by. I live by the best you can get.
And he also makes coffee.
Because I don't want you hanging around. I don't want you coming back 20 times. I want 1-2 days and that's it.
He's not the most personable person. He just wants you. He doesn't want to be your friend. He just wants to enjoy you.
No, that's right.
Yeah, but at least he resolves the issue.
Seriously.
You know, I went to see a client on Friday, and they had a gymnasium.
Did you get the order, by the way?
Well, we'll get to that later. But the funny thing is that I went to see, and upstairs they had a chiropractor. And I don't have anything against chiropractors.
No.
Whatever is whatever.
It is
You know,
what it is.
It is what it is. So I walk in there, and there's these two little Indian girls. And one of them had to be 7 years old. And they had all these needles in her head.
Acupuncture.
Yes. So the acupuncturist was standing there next to me. So I said, can I ask a real dumb question? Why does she look like a porcupine?
Well, Doc, before he goes on, one thing about Freddy, I've seen him get up from tables and ask people questions about that with Kane, so he's not lying.
Well, no,
he does ask everybody.
I'll take you to
Nobody
this
said
lady.
he's lying.
No, I mean, I want people to understand that this guy is truthful.
I'll take you to this lady. So I go to her. She says she's treating a bad hip to the 7-year-old girl. I said, a bad hip? She says, yes.
What?
And she shows me a chart. The brain is responsible for this alienated hip from Mars. I don't know where it's coming from.
Okay, acupuncture should be wiped off the face of the earth.
Well, I'm not.
I studied acupuncture. There is absolutely no science there.
But wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh, go ahead. Even worse.
So I did the tour, and I came back, and I said, when does those antennas come out of her head? And she says, I'm going to take them out now. So she takes them out. The kid was not in pain, apparently. And she tells her, walk. And she's walking with the limp. So I go, what happened? So she says, oh, it takes a few treatments. So I look at the mother and I said, is she any better? Oh, yes, much better, much better.
The mother
So I said, how long you been bringing her here? 7 weeks. 7 weeks, Doc.
You know what the philosophy, Freddie, is? He said, if you're not cured of your pain in 3 days or 3 visits, get out of that office and demand your money back. I'm serious.
Well, I gave her, I got to get more cards, by the way. I gave her my last card for you. I said, listen, I want you to do me a favor. This is an experiment. I want you to take your daughter to see this doctor and let him determine what's going on with your daughter. And then after he fixes her, because he's going to fix her,
Oh, yeah.
I want you to come back here and see if your daughter wants to do more antennas. Because I will guarantee you that child doesn't want to do that anymore. And she looked at her and she says, true, Mommy, I don't want to do this anymore.
No, poor
I mean,
kids.
come on, give me a break, man.
No, they won't. They won't refer to someone like me because I'm in competition. They'll refer to the surgeon because their attitude is, if I can't fix it, it must be surgical.
That's right.
Which they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know how to diagnose these things.
Not at all. And they're using the child, a 7-year-old
As a
kid,
guinea pig.
They're
Yeah.
using it as a porcupine guinea
Yeah.
pig with these things
And there's
sticking
the
out of
little
her head.
kid.
And then
Come
you ask
on.
yourself, where is the mother?
She was sitting right there.
Honest to God.
My wife. If you say someone said when I had an operation, I was sent to quote the guy in Aventura who everyone thinks is the best. My wife said, "Thank you very much. We'll think about it." We
term,
went to
the
two
best.
other doctors. When we came back, the guy we went to first was the best. But the bottom line is, if you're going in for surgery, my God, and I don't know about you, I'm afraid to go into a hospital for anything. I really am. I'm scared to death of anesthesia. I'm scared to getting germs. You know, I'm a germaphobe. Why would I would want to find somebody that at least could help me so I don't have to go in for surgery
Well,
with you?
here's the
I mean, that's ridiculous.
The problem with the mother is that she's
Yeah.
probably working. She probably has other kids to take care of. She has to deal with the husband who doesn't want to hear it.
Right.
Because he's working. He's got to, take care of his career and make sure the money comes in for the family. So he's got a legitimate work there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to hear it.
I agree.
So if you go to someone and say, "Oh yeah, acupuncture will take care of it," they go, "Yes, okay, do it." They just don't get the right information from their pediatricians.
I think I agree with you a 1,000,000%. But I think what is what you said. They just want to get the kid better, and they're believing what their family doctor is telling them.
The family doctor should know better. Musculoskeletal pain is an important part of
But they should know that.
existence. They're just not taught it.
Is it that they're not taught it, or they don't want to lose
They're
a patient?
not taught it.
Okay.
They don't lose a patient. They don't care about that.
Right.
Well, they want to do the best job they can. They just don't know what it is.
And you know what's scared?
It's a shame.
What you said is so true. Before I met you, and my wife was in the gym one day, and she pulled her back. So my friend, who's an orthopedic surgeon, I called him up. I said, he came right over, and he says, "What I'm going to do for Margot is this. I'm going to start her on therapy, see if we could get rid of the pain with therapy." Margot said, and my wife is probably the smartest person I've ever met. She only made one mistake in his life. You know what that is.
Married you.
You got it, guys. He gets a bell for that. Okay. Frey already knew the answer, Doc.
You're so quiet. That was your chance.
Chance was a zinger.
No,
I didn't know.
I let you sing it.
Oh, Freddie. let
He's
me
waiting
think.
until tomorrow. He
waiting.
gives me a lot of singers tomorrow.
That's right. I beat up on him all week.
So my wife called up the doctor, who's an orthopedic surgeon, and said, "So-and-so, this is asinine. I'm in worse pain now than I was before." Well, just let him finish it. Your insurance covers it, and then you come in and see me. And this is someone, okay? So Margot said, "Ain't happening. I'm done. I'm done." Okay. I said, "You want to go to I said, "I won't go to an acupuncturist." My wife said, "You know what? I'm going to take aspirin. If it goes, I'm going to look for another person to do this. I'm not going in for surgery, and I'm definitely not doing that." She came out with more pain. Okay, thank God it went away. But here's what I'm saying. If anybody out there, look, I don't make any money whether the doc goes to surgery, whether he takes care of you or not. I just the reason I do this show, it gets me out of the house on Sunday for an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's making my marriage even work better. Okay, I'm here with one of my closest friends, two of the guys I love to death. So I'm saying to you, if you love your child, and I know you do, it's worth a visit. That's all. You just have to come in and talk to the doctor, and he will show you proof. He'll take your MRI. He'll show you the difference of the MRI and what he did with the C-arm to show you what's causing your daughter or son to have
Yeah,
scoliosis.
the MRIs don't tell you anything.
No, it's not. It's not showing you that tissue pushing the thing.
Because they don't know what I know.
Exactly.
These are radiologists. They read what they think is on the film, and that's good. But when you look at what they read, say none of this causes any problem. Where is the problem? They don't put it down because they don't know. You only can get that from examination.
Cause.
You have to know how to examine people.
Cause and effect.
Cause and effect. And if someone wants to do an MRI to diagnose, find out what's wrong with you, go leave that place. That's not for you.
And then come to someone who specializes in this.
Me.
You know, you don't go to a company like Health and Wealth to get knee surgery. So why go to somewhere else that's going to operate? I mean, would you want to go in for surgery if you could avoid it?
It's like getting a plumber to go to the dentist. I mean, come on, give me a break.
Who wants to go? No one wants to go to the dentist.
Yeah, but you don't want a plumber coming in and fixing your teeth.
Well, the best commercial is they show you a sub shop. This, I wish, if that ever comes on again, I am going to stop it and take a picture. It goes, sub shop, chiropractor.
Don't get it.
It's the same guy. I
Oh,
was the same guy that shows. So the commercial is,
Don't leave
don't go to get a good sub from a chiropractor. Come to Jimmy John.
okay. Don't quit your day job.
No, I'm serious. No, this was on TV.
Oh, they put this on TV.
This is on TV.
How long was it on TV? Because it's
Oh
not
no,
very good.
They do different things. They had a whole thing about different commercials. They had a barber shop and a sub shop, all in one building.
Oh, okay.
And the guy says, don't go to a barber shop to get a good sub. Go to so and so. Okay.
Gotcha.
So I'm saying, don't go in for. It makes me laugh. Don't go in for surgery if you don't.
There you go.
If there's an alternative.
Throw me a life vest.
Let
I
me
want
ask you a
something.
question. Does anyone here like going to a dentist to get a root
No,
canal?
but this is my point. You don't go to a plumber to get your teeth.
Right, but does anyone like going? But when that pain
That's not the point.
No, I understand what you're saying. But when that pain is so severe in your mouth, you
Yes.
go. So
To
if
the
that
plumber?
pain is not to the plumber.
But that's the point.
okay.
To me, the
Shoot. Go ahead, Doc.
the bad stuff that goes around, like terminology, like in the sports that you're familiar with, you go to rehab,
Yes, all the time.
and they say, "Oh, rehab. What the hell's rehab?" And when I got trained, rehab meant physician. Now it means therapy.
That's
I mean, what the hell are they talking about? I mean, that doesn't even work.
Preventive measures.
No, there is no
This
such
is
thing.
the way they deem it.
You cannot prevent an injury. You can only pick up the injury before you go onto the field, which they don't know how to do. I mean, what I'm telling you is these are highly specialized exams that have to be done. Highly specialized history. You can't just go to anybody off the shelf or even a sports physical therapist. What the hell does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's the same business all over again. Orthopedic surgery do not do this work. The surgeons do not do this kind of work. So who have you got there? Nobody.
That's right. And you're bound to get injured when you're an athlete.
There's no way you can stop it.
You know,
But you can stop an injury. You can stop the player from playing with an injury if you know how to examine for it.
Never got hurt when I was on the football team.
you never played.
Never
That's
got
right.
hurt?
I was on the bench.
Got plenty of splinters.
The bench is still warm, but
I got news. I tripped one day and I had to go in for therapy, but I had the cleanest uniform out.
you probably got a splinter in your bottom.
But would you take care of it?
I would, yes.
Spinal stenosis.
Stenosis.
Spinal stenosis.
Just
doesn't
follow.
mean
Oh wait, hold it. If anyone wants to you call us up at 800-889-0287.
You're late with the number.
Yeah,
What's
I know,
the
but
number?
800-889-0267.
There you go.
Or if you really want to get the lowdown, 561-381-5800. Dr. Pannozzo is not only a phenomenal doctor, he is someone that'll give you your life back. And for all you golfers in New York that are coming down here, take 10 minutes to go in his office, okay? Then go out and play on the golf course and tell me how different your game was. I've seen these golfers come in. This is not something just because I play golf. I've seen many a golfer come in.
Hey, I learned my trade from the greatest golfer of 1954, which was
Bob Toski.
Bob Toski. And he is a very good teacher, but really rough.
Yeah.
You either do what he says or else. So
But he's right.
He wanted to teach me. I said, no, I'm not here for that. I'm here to find out what you know. That's different story. You know, the guy says, I know everything. No, you don't. You don't know anatomy and physiology. You don't know what causes that swing to occur.
And if you sit there and watch the older
so we found out, and then we got the school going because we analyzed the swing before treatment, analyze it after treatment, the pain's gone, and then we turn you over to the PGA trained staff who follows you through on the golf course and the driving range. Now, we did that in New York as a trial, and it worked out beautifully. We had 4 people scheduled, and we ended up treating 15, and we followed them off to the driving range where they swung as hard as they could not reproduce the pain. If they did, we took them back into the clinic, fixed it, and then they played 18 holes of golf, and it was a great weekend.
Well, one of our episodes.
It is absolutely worthwhile. If somebody doesn't do that, and they're spending a lot of money on trying to get their swing, they're wrong. They're not going to get it.
It's not, it's what my pro once said to me. He said to me, if you can't go all the way back in that beautiful arc, come down and hit the ball perfect. and this is a really old guy. Tommy was, when I met him, Tommy was about 75 years old. He could take a 7-iron and hit the ball straight, almost 160 yards. He says the key to golf is be able to get the arc. That arc is the golf, and you don't have to kill the ball. All the people that have injuries, and I didn't even know you then. I'm just listening to guys saying, well, we're talking about injuries. So all the people that cannot do the arc, they all try to kill the ball with a short swing. They're never going to hit the drive. He said there's two most important things in golf: that drive, which gets you far enough to do your short game, and that's what. Here's what I'm getting at: when you're able to give that person up to 40 yards, he's got to now go to his pro and teach him the right clubs for his short game. That's what makes it golf.
That's the art of golf.
You're not the art of golf.
How do you play the greens? How do you play the fairways? Right. But the drive, the original drive,
is your most important shot.
Is the important shot, and it is a medical problem. But the PGA guys do not understand this.
I was watching Phil Mickelson.
They went to? What?
I was watching Phil Mickelson, and I could tell he was having pain. He has a psoriatic arthritis.
Yeah,
but I could see that every time he stopped his swing in midair, he hit the ball to the left.
Okay, he's got a problem.
Yes,
that's treatable.
Yeah, of course.
Tiger Woods should be playing now. If he would come to me, he'd be playing.
Probably would be.
I know what I'm talking about, and I'm very secure in my opinion.
Well, we have documented
because
proof.
We see it as a result of treatment. So it's not like there's a failure. If there's a failure, I'm heading to Cuba. But it will not be a failure.
Hey, Doc, we can take all your money, all my money, buy those old cars, bring them back here and sell them for a fortune.
You can't buy them.
I know they won't sell them. But you know what you said is so true. You had a golfing pro who came into you because I think it was a male and a female. They came into you and they're able to now be able to show their students the right way to hit a ball.
We've had the golfing pros come in, tennis pros come in. What else is out there? Baseball. Not so much baseball. I don't know what happens to those guys.
Why is that afraid that baseball players don't come into me? He's got most of the athletes.
There's no baseball teams around here, I guess.
There are. There's plenty of them. They go from Jupiter down. But the problem is that it's the same thing that happened with David Wright right now. They have assigned him 3 medical staffers, which you'll call rehabbers or whatever. And those 3 guys are responsible to make sure that he doesn't bend the wrong way. He doesn't do this the right way.
That's wrong. See, the very idea is wrong. You can't restrict someone's motion and expect him to perform.
Exactly. And they want him in bed rest. He hasn't played yet this year. They want him laying down.
Where's the coach? Where's the team owners? Where
they're relying on the people in the medical profession that they pay.
But they're not in the
millions
medical
of dollars.
profession.
Doc.
These guys who are restricting his motion
Yes.
and putting him on bed are not in the medical profession. They're technicians.
That's right. That's right.
Trade school people.
But the problem is that the doctors that are above their
doctors
head
are
telling them what to do.
Are protecting them.
That's right. They rather have...
Why would that happen? And who is the doctor? Is a surgeon.
Surgeon.
So why would he protect them?
Well, in my estimation...
So that he could get the surgery when it fails.
Yes.
Between seasons, he's going to get a surgery out of that.
And I don't think that David has had the surgery yet. They kept him out for half the season.
Surgery of what?
Of his back.
His back? Oh, my God.
His back.
That is so easy to fix. It'll boggle your mind if I told you how I do it. I do it just like that.
I've seen you do it.
Yeah. It'll boggle your mind how much money they paid David Wright.
Oh, my God.
And he only played 40 games last year out of 162.
I'm going to get to some great questions from the New York people, if that's okay with you guys. All right?
Sure.
I've got one here from Albert, who writes, I've heard your show where you say insurance companies will not pay for your treatment. My parents went to see you and decided to get services done and pay for them. Wow, that's smart, man. And you were fantastic. But the insurance company told them they do not have a procedure code for that for you to do. I need to ask, why has the insurance industry followed up on what you do? And if you have any patients that come see you, why won't they allow insurance coverage for you? I mean, that's a great question. Thanks, Albert.
First of all, the insurance company, whoever they talked to, lied to you. That is not true. The codes we use are accepted everywhere. Medicare accepts them and everybody else. These are common codes that are right in the book. All you have to do is look them up.
Well, here's what I like. Albert was in New York City and told his parents down here to come in, and here's what the parents said. He was fantastic. Now that's nice to hear.
The insurance companies are controlled by lay people who decided to go into insurance, and what they're after is to save money for the insurance company. They are not. In the old days, they used to be. Blue Cross and Blue Shield came from the medical profession. They were the county medical societies that started that, and they were after getting patients better because it was money that they all formed. But now the insurance companies do not lower their premiums.
Right.
They just keep them, but restrict your activity that you could tax them for. So they're going to save all that money by limiting the care you could get. I'll give you a good example. Everybody can figure this out for themselves.
No, please.
I had a guy come in and said, I have full coverage, I have a laboratory, and I was, okay, where is the laboratory? Now, I'm in Delray, okay? Where is the laboratory that he has to go to? South of Miami.
Oh, my God. I wouldn't go down there on a bet.
I mean, are you kidding? And they do that a lot. They'll have one north of Palm Beach, and you got to travel 60 miles to get to it for free lab work. Are you kidding me?
You're gonna spend that money in gas.
Wrong. People have to understand what they're buying.
Yeah, you're right.
I thought he was going to say it's in the trunk of my car, but
No, what happens is on insurance. What he said is exactly right. Some people say you got to go to this lab. Now, here's a question, Freddie, that I'm going to love this one. Ready for this one, Doc? This is my favorite question of all.
Oh, here's another lie that the insurance companies do.
This is my favorite question.
They'll say, yeah, I'll get to this.
Okay, yes, sir.
They'll say, you call them up. What I usually do is say, call your insurance company. There's an 800 number on your card. Ask them if they're going to pay for you in my office. Okay? They'll call back and they'll say, oh, they said you don't accept their insurance.
it's another fib.
That's another lie. We accept any cash that comes in.
Yeah.
I don't care who it comes from. I mean,
You're not proud. You don't care where it come from the kid's father.
so it's another lie. And now they want you to go to somebody else, get an MRI, get therapy, and that all costs more than what we do.
Exactly.
And it's a waste of time. People don't have
It's a waste of time. So in the medical business, you got to understand this, whoever's listening to this. It's not the cost of the treatment you get. The longevity of treatment is where the cost is.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Right.
See, if you
That's
get
smart.
treated 5, 10, 20 times, or 100 times, like in some chiropractor's office, that's all a waste of money. You should have a cure in the first 2 or 3 days. If you don't, you're in the wrong place.
That's right.
Including my office. I have a sign on the door that says that. It's on the wall, actually. It says that. If you're not getting the relief that you think you should have in 2 or 3 days of treatment, then you're in the wrong place.
To quote George Costanza from the Seinfeld show, who was going to a chiropractor, that Jerry was going to a chiropractor, George Costanza, not Les Mayer, said, why don't you just get a massage? They do the same thing without the happy ending. So that was George Costanza, folks, not me. Okay, Doc, this is my favorite question of the whole day. Ready for this? Jackson from New York City writes, I heard your commercial on a new show called Two Boys from Brooklyn.
Oh, I love
And
that
one
show.
guy on there says you cure hamstring and migraines. Oh, by the way, that was me and Freddie together said that one. I found your show and saw that migraines are an injury from the upper neck area. How long did it take you to find this area in the creator of migraines, and why haven't doctors all over the world discovered that you can cure a migraine that way? Go ahead. Why?
Yeah, they don't even put it on the packages.
That's on the package that we. It's on the needle. We cure migraines in one visit. But I think about that. Why haven't doctors? I mean, these are smart guys. I mean,
Think about that.
Yeah.
Now that you just read that question, all I'm thinking about,
Two boys from Brooklyn.
the
We got to listen.
pharmaceuticals will be here tomorrow to get us off the air.
The best thing to take for migraine is plain aspirin.
Okay.
You take 3 or 4 at first if you get a migraine, 2 more in a half hour if it doesn't help you. And it's going to go away.
But never better. I mean, not completely.
I've had these things myself.
Yeah.
And when you have it yourself, I've had arm pain, leg pain, back pain, neck pain, everything.
You thought you were having a heart attack.
And so I'm able to figure it out based on on how I examine people. I examine myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it turned out that the headache in a certain place, right here, see that?
Yes.
behind the ear.
That's where
the ear.
migraine is, and there's a joint underneath that. Now, I went to the medical school, and I just found the paper, by the way. His name, I forgot the name of the professor that went with me. He spent an hour and a half with me.
That was at FAU, right?
The FAU or south of
Okay.
that. Anyway, it was an osteopathic school, by the way. So, so we looked at the area that could cause that, and there was no danger in it. It was clear cut. So then we went back to the office. I devised a treatment for it. Had my son help me in Arizona with it to do the same thing, see if he got the same result. He did, and I did, and it's standard procedure now. We cure every migraine there is. I have had no failures yet.
I've sent 3 people in who have said to me, well, one I see every Saturday at Starbucks said, wow, I could actually go in my car now and not worry about vertigo. Other thing wasn't so much the migraines, it was the vertigo that was getting her nervous.
Yeah, the vertigo and the migraine are from the same area. Some of this stuff you find by accident. I mean, if
Well,
you
you
have,
found TMJ by accident with that one patient.
if you have an no, that we knew about TMJ.
I'm sorry.
If you have an astute mind who loves working out problems, that's what I have. It just comes to me like, I'm a good researcher.
Well, also, you also study physics, which I mean helps a
Well,
lot.
physics
in physics.
and anatomy and the physiology. So all of that's involved with it. So it's not simple like, oh, one day I found it. No, it's not like that. Not like that. You have to have a bunch of knowledge to find out what you got.
And not only when you have a pain, you go see your son. You fly up to see your son because I mean, let me tell
And
you.
I teach him how to take care of it.
Yeah, the funny thing is, you show
he
your
doesn't
son
like that. He
the
doesn't
stuff
like that. You know how sons are. Right,
Oh,
Fred?
they never want to listen to their father. Dad doesn't know anything. You know that. Okay, let's get to another one, Doc. Another one
They
from
want
New
to
York.
have their own identity. That's what happens.
Okay, Lionel from New York City writes, my parents live in Boca Raton, and they are surprised that they never heard of you until I told them about you. My father was told that his hip had to be replaced because it was worn out and arthritis had set in. Very hard for him to walk or even sit down. He complains about pain in his lower back area and has to use a wheelchair or a wheelie to get around. He said the pain runs down his legs as well. Can you help him fix this long time pain? He is 78 years old and they want him to do surgery.
Well, I would say that he probably should look in elsewhere before the surgery.
Right.
78 years old, there are a lot of bad things can happen
Yeah.
to you at 78 years
Especially with the medication, I would say.
if he had this had it for a long time, where has this guy been? Why didn't he go to another doctor? You don't need a referral. Just go to another doctor. You're on Medicare. They'll pay for anything.
They don't care where you go.
He
don't
probably
care.
doesn't want to have the surgery, Doc.
Then go somewhere where he doesn't have
But this
surgery.
is the point. I think that his son is making that point. Is that his father lived with the pain rather than to go somewhere else.
Well, I know, but another opinion.
That's
Well,
a
he's
second
probably
opinion.
had 20 opinions. It's
No.
all been the same.
But he never
Doesn't
had
say
the
that.
right opinion. That's
Yeah,
I
but-
think that's the thing.
Or they had the same opinion over in Oregon, surgery. And now they're looking at you for a different alternative.
Well, they should have been a long time ago, and you don't get operated for a hip unless the hip is actually shown to be abnormal,
Well,
and that's by examination.
we got Pete on the phone who wants to talk to you, Doc. I'm
ahead.
sorry to interrupt you. Hey, Pete, you're on with Dr. Pannozzo.
Yeah, one quick insurance question. Do you guys take a Molina insurance from Miami?
What is it?
What's the name?
Molina?
Molina. It's called Molina Insurance.
Molina, M-O-L-I-N-A, Molina. It's an insurance company that's out of South Miami. I never heard of
Molina.
it, but I've seen
Well,
that.
we don't make an opinion of what we take. It's up to you. Have to call them and ask them if they're going to pay for you in my office. Spell my name correctly.
It's P-A-N-N-O-Z-Z-O.
Yeah, that's right. They'll tell you.
They'll tell you. That's
They'll
correct.
tell you whether they're going to pay or not because we can't control them. When we send in a bill, they'll just say we don't pay that.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, I need my knees are real bad. I need them done, and I know people who have gone to you and you've had success. So I'm definitely going to look into it. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, what kind of treatment? What kind of problem do you have?
I'm sorry.
What kind of problem are you having?
Both my knees, I had surgery, left knee, right knee, they want to do surgery, and I have pain that radiates from the outside towards the inside. and it's all. My left knee feels like the kneecap floats around from time to time, and it locks up.
Like Jim. Yeah, well, those are all treatable things. You don't need another surgery.
Well, I sent a friend to mine, Pete, for the best same thing, and he is now he's 78 years old. He's going skiing with his family in Denver, and plays golf every other day and plays tennis. So all I can tell you is I've been there and I've seen it. And can I just say something to you? And this is just from me, and please don't take this the wrong way. Doesn't matter what it costs, whether the insurance company takes it or not. Pain's a bitch. I know it. I've been to Dr. Pannozzo twice.
Yep, just getting in and out of the car is a chore.
Why suffer?
And cramps everywhere. It's unbelievable.
No, this man can fix
we
it.
fix most of that. Yeah.
So Pete, beautiful guys. Thank you so much for your time.
It doesn't matter. I can give you his number if you want to call him later.
I have the number.
Fantastic. Pete, thank you so much. Hope you come there and see him. Take care, buddy.
Thank you so much. Hope we can get in there.
You got it.
You will.
That was a nice call, Doc. And, I want people to understand you don't control insurance. If call up the insurance company, see if let's go with another one.
No,
you want to read?
It used to be.
It used to be the doctor. Sure.
The doctor sent in a bill to the insurance company. They had to pay that.
Oh yeah.
But then Congress got involved and said, "Well, we can't be doing this. I mean, let's see who the doctors are, and we'll approve them before we pay their bill."
Yeah.
Well, now they're practicing medicine. Yeah. Because what do they know about anything?
No.
The best doctor you have is the one that's in your neighborhood. Your friends will tell you, this is a good guy for this is a good guy for that. That's how you know. And that's who you go to. The insurance company will say, well, we didn't approve this. Who are you guys to approve anything? You're practicing medicine when you approve stuff.
And they're not doctors, half of them that approve this.
No, they could be anything, but what's involved in my field, musculoskeletal. You see, that's where the big money was being spent in musculoskeletal. They were doing shots all the time, and everybody was paying for that. The federal government says, we got to put a cap on that stuff. We can't be paying for all this. But sometimes it's needed. What do you do then?
Well, I want everyone out there to listen to this thing. If your doctor or your friend or you see a sign that says the word pain management, you don't want anyone to manage your pain. You want someone to get rid of the pain.
Holy, hallelujah. That's true.
Am I right? I don't want someone to manage my pain. I know I got it. I can manage my pain. No. But you want someone to cure the pain. Okay, let's go over to Ronnie from New York City. Ronnie writes, I wake up every morning with a stiff neck. Oh, God, thank you. I go to the doctor, and he gives me Advil that really doesn't work. I had a car accident about 8 months ago, and I was hit from the back. My arms go numb, and I can't do any more sports because I turn left and right like a zombie. I work at a desk all day, and even typing becomes a hard thing to do. Can you explain to me what's happening and why doctors don't seem to know what to do with me?
Wait a minute. That's not true. It's not doctors don't know. It's the one you're going to doesn't know.
You see that? You get a bill for that one, buddy. That's exactly right.
I know perfectly well. I'm reading your complaint here, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's going to the wrong doctor.
Yes.
That's all. Am I right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Don't go to a surgeon, though.
Freddie went to a doctor for hair transplantation. He has to go to another one.
Absolutely. That's why I stopped going.
Okay, next one. Jessica, Atlanta. I thought Atlanta forgot us.
But wait a minute. Hold on a second.
I'm sorry.
The question wasn't answered. He asked, can you explain to him what's going on with his body?
Yes,
well, sure. He can't do any sports.
Mm-hmm. Stiff neck.
I turn left and right like a zombie.
Yeah, in other words, he's like a stiff neck.
That's actually joint pain.
Really?
And is treatable. And I work at a desk all day, and even typing becomes a hard thing to do. Why? Holding your arms up produces a stress at C71. That's the base of the neck. So he might have all kinds of problems up and down, but I could tell you about a couple of them just by what he's complaining about. Of course, when he gets examined, we know for sure. And we do a special film for this, too. No MRIs. MRIs don't help you. But if you do a special film after an examination like we do it, you have 100% diagnosis. And then we're going to cure that if you just agree to it. Bam, 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 just like that. 1-2 days, that's it.
And he could have multiple areas,
Sure.
things going on in the same region or multiple regions in that area.
You don't know. I mean, every bone is related to the next bone with a ligament. That's where the pain is, in the ligament structure. So if you think like I do, you can follow all that. You can devise a treatment for all that. And you do progressively improvement. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and you're out of there.
Okay, I want to say one thing to everybody, and I'm not going to say it again. The two things you don't want anyone to tell you about and tell you what to do is your money and your health. Only you can decide where to spend your money. Only you can decide whether or not you want to be treated by the right physician. Okay, I'm just going to say it one time.
That last question was from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Come on down and get fixed, because that's
It's an hour and 10 minutes. You can get fixed and be home for dinner. Another one from Atlanta. Roberto from Atlanta writes, I heard your show on 8:60 a.m. in Atlanta and was amazed how you can treat vertigo. I was told that it was all about pressure in the ears, but after watching and listening to your program, I understand that it isn't the same area as migraine. Why hasn't anyone found out the section of the back controls all symptoms that go with vertigo? I suffered this for over 20 years, and no one has ever offered me a complete solution to this problem. It comes at a time when you least expect it and without warning, and that's the tough part that girl had, Doc, when she was driving as a salesperson, would just pop up with
Look, Roberto, it might surprise you, but not everybody has the same talent or the same education, the same background, the same research capability, and the same results. If it's offered to you, fly down here and get it. Don't be complaining about no one ever told you this. We're telling you.
right?
You don't want to hear this stuff. You know, a lot of people pat you on the back and say, well, no, you want it cured? That's what we do.
So it's very inexpensive right now to fly to Atlanta, because I fly back and forth because my daughter lives there. And you know what? When you're in pain, I don't care what you do, there is nothing worse than pain. And you'll pay anything. You know what the guy is?
I've flown 2,000 miles to get rid of a pain.
Yeah.
That's where my son is.
Right,
He's the
and-
only one in the world I would trust, so
Right.
that's where I go.
And I know that because you go every couple of months because...
And how do I do that? I have to close my office.
Yeah, and
that
lose
means
money.
my income drops.
Right.
I have to get a plane, which is expensive.
Right.
Then I have to stay somewhere. I mean, so I do what you have to do. You drive in here from Atlanta or fly in, get a hotel for one night. I will take you.
You don't even have to. You can fly.
You'll never have it
Yeah.
again.
Right. You can go come here, see at 9 o'clock in the morning, get your
And then
shot.
people call me up and they say, well, my insurance, you don't take my insurance.
Who cares?
So what? Your insurance is not treating you. I'm treating you.
Let me tell you folks this right now, okay? If you went out for dinner at a fancy restaurant that you would normally go out Saturday with a couple of drinks, and you go home and you go, oh God, I can't move my. It's cheaper to see him. Don't even worry about the insurance company and go back saying, oh my God,
I mean, if you go to,
I could live again.
If you go to a cheap steakhouse, you're gonna pay $30-$40 with a drink for it for one meal that you consume in 10 minutes.
Easy.
And it's done. And it's done. And if you have, but so why?
And you got to break your way of thinking. That's all.
Yeah, that-
you've been
Yeah,
programmed.
that's what we're talking about.
That's what
You've
Freddy
been
just said.
programmed
Right
over and over again that the doctors are never wrong. Live in pain little by little to get better. Let's take a shortcut. Let's just get to the heart of the problem, get it repaired, in and out, and use the savings and go enjoy your life for a change. Well, let's flip this
Great
around.
idea.
And here's the funny part about it, Freddie. You're not going to be sitting in his office when the girls are, so where is your pain? Let me send you over and get your x-rays. You're going to walk, the minute you see him, you might have to wait a while because there's people waiting. The minute you see him, depending on what the ailment is, you'll be out of that office in what? A migraine, how long does it take you to get rid of a migraine?
Oh, about 15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay. And a knee pain, well, the problem with a knee pain is you don't leave because he won't let you leave until you have to recreate that pain.
Once you've been operated, a lot of scar tissue there, but
That's
well,
right.
well, Doc, it's that this hour went faster than anything. I want to tell everyone, thank you for listening. I know we've convinced a lot of people to come down and see him. And again, if you're living in pain, folks,
what I'd
it
like
ain't
to
worth
say,
it.
Les, is that everything you're hearing is true. I mean, all my opinions are true. This is what we operate on.
And they can challenge us anytime, Dr. Pannozzo. They could, not me, they could challenge you anytime, and no one has yet. And I've been with you now for over 2 years, and no one has ever challenged you.
Gotta go.
Folks, 561-381-5800, and that'll be the best thing you've ever done in your life. God bless our troops. I hope everyone has a great day. And Dr. Pannozzo, always a pleasure, my friend.
Well, thanks for doing this lesson, Freddie. I mean, I really appreciate it.
Well, we like helping people also.
This is a teaching program. That's all it is. So.
Have a good day, folks. We'll
Thanks.
see you next Sunday.
Pain is no way to go through life. Dr. Pannozzo has been in practice
This
now
has
for more
been
than
the
49
Dr.
years.
Pannozzo
He's treated
Sports
more
and
than
Medicine Hour with
73,000
Dr.
patients
Anthony
for pain.
Pannozzo.
He's an expert
If you
when it
spend
comes
5
to
minutes with
diagnosing
Dr.
pain,
Pannozzo,
and he has had
you'll see he
huge
genuinely
turnarounds.
enjoys
In fact,
helping
people with living with
others.
scoliosis,
Visit Dr.
he has had
Pannozzo
nearly a
online at
100% turnaround. Lumbar pain as well. If you've got lower back pain,
or
if you're
call
suffering
him
with
at
migraines or flat feet pain, maybe pain in your
561-381-5800.
elbows,
Dr.
your
Pannozzo
neck,
will
your
consult with you
shoulders.
to determine
Dr.
the
Pannozzo
best
can help you.
solution to
And the
your
greatest thing
pain
is he can
needs.
help you without
561
drugs, without surgery, and without having to go
381-5800 is the
through
number to
weeks
call.
and months
Even
of
if it's just for a
rehabilitation. Give him a call
second
today,
opinion.
set up an appointment.
Join
It's
Dr. Pannozzo next week when he brings you
561-381-5800.
more
Tune into
important
his show
information
Sundays,
on
11
the
to
physics
noon.
of
And now,
weight-bearing
here's
and
this week's
engineered
edition of
concepts
the
for the
Dr.
body.
Pannozzo